What if everything you know about Hawkins is wrong? What if Vecna's plan is far bigger than we think? Welcome to Operation Hawkins, the channel for fans who notice the hidden details, the secrets, and the craziest theories from the Stranger Things universe. In today's video, we're diving into 12 of the wildest Stranger Things Season 5 theories that will blow your mind. Theory 1: the Upside Down frozen in time on the night Will disappeared. From the beginning, the Upside Down has felt wrong. Not just dangerous, but stuck, as if time itself refuses to move. The walls are covered in spores, the air never shifts, and everything inside it remains locked in a moment that never changes. And that moment connects to one event. The night Will Byers disappeared in 1983. His stereo has the same tape. His calendar shows the same date. His room is preserved exactly as it was. This leads to a disturbing possibility. What if the Upside Down is not a parallel dimension at all, but a psychic snapshot of Hawkins taken at the moment Will vanished? The show has never confirmed the Upside Down existed before that night. Every explanation given by scientists, government officials, or characters is only theory. No one truly knows what the Upside Down is. They only know what it looks like. Season 4 provided the first real clue. When Eleven sends Henry Creel through the rift, the world he enters is not the Hawkins replica we later see. There are no houses, no streets, no frozen town. Only a storm of red lightning, floating debris, and raw psychic matter. A world without structure. This suggests that the replica version of the Upside Down did not exist yet. So what reshaped it? Will Byers. The quiet kid. The one who draws and imagines. The one who feels deeply and silently. When he was taken, his memory of Hawkins, his emotional imprint of his surroundings, could have reshaped the raw dimension Henry fell into. A memory so vivid that it formed a world. Clues support this idea. Will senses the monster before ever seeing it. His connection to the Upside Down is emotional rather than physical. He feels the Mind Flayer before the audience even knows what it is. His body reacts even when he is back in the real world. This points to a world tied to consciousness instead of space. Now the theory becomes darker. If the Upside Down is frozen in Will's memory, then the corruption spreading through Hawkins is not an invasion. It is a replacement, a syncing of two versions of the same place. This explains why vines spread through the town, why the earth cracks open, why the atmosphere feels colder, why clocks symbolize cycles and repetition, why Season 4 carries a sense of déjà vu. The Upside Down is not expanding. It is aligning. The real Hawkins is being overridden by the memory version, slowly and silently. If Season 5 follows this path, it means the story is heading toward a reveal. Hawkins is not being destroyed. Hawkins is being rewound. Time collapsing, reality reverting, and at the center of it stands Will Byers. The first connection, the emotional anchor, the boy who never fully returned, the one who remembers. Because if the Upside Down was shaped by memory, then the only one who can stop it is the one whose mind created its form. Theory 2: Vecna as the creator and architect of the Upside Down. Season 4 shattered the old understanding of the Stranger Things universe by revealing that Henry Creel, later known as later known as Vecna, was not just another experiment gone wrong. He was the origin point. The first child with psychic abilities. The first to see beyond the physical world. The first to cross the boundary between consciousness and reality. But there is a deeper implication that Season 5 may reveal. Vecna did not simply discover the Upside Down. He may have created it. When Eleven sent Henry through the gate in their childhood confrontation, he did not fall into the replica of Hawkins that we recognize today. He entered a shapeless world made of storm clouds, lightning, and floating debris. No streets, no houses, no signs of civilization, only raw psychic matter. This is the first clue. The Hawkins-like Upside Down came later. The second clue lies in how the environment reacts to Henry. The red lightning pulses as if responding to his presence. The particles swirl around him like dust drawn to a magnetic field. And most importantly, his powers evolve dramatically the longer he remains in that realm. This suggests that the dimension was not corrupting Henry. Henry was shaping the dimension. Now consider the Mind Flayer. The show reveals that Vecna finds a massive cloud-like organism within the realm. But the real twist is hidden in a single detail. Vecna shapes it into the form we recognize. A spider-like entity. A creature that reflects his childhood obsession. Meaning the Mind Flayer is not the ruler of the Upside Down. It is a manifestation of Vecna's imagination. A weapon designed, constructed, and molded by his mind. This changes the hierarchy entirely. Vecna is not a servant of the Upside Down. He is not another victim of its influence. He is the author, the architect, the controlling intelligence, and if he created it, then his ultimate goal becomes clear. The real world must be reshaped to match the world he built. Not invaded, transformed. This explains the patterns in Hawkins. The spreading veins beneath the town. The synchronized cracks erupting through the streets. The influence stretching even without portals. The visions shared by those connected to him. Everything points to a designed convergence. Two worlds becoming one world. Season the 5th of May reveal that Vecna does not want domination. He wants replacement. A universe rewritten according to his design, where death, identity, time, memory, and reality operate under his authority. And if he shaped the Upside Down, then there is another implication. The destruction of Vecna may not destroy the dimension. It may collapse it, or worse, release what is left behind when its creator no longer controls it. Theory 3. Will Byers, Transformation and the Final Host Arc. Will Byers has always been central to Stranger Things, but most fans only see him as the kid who got kidnapped in Season 1. There is a much deeper story developing, one that could reach its climax in Season 5. The idea is that Will is not just a survivor. He is the emotional anchor of the Upside Down. From the very first season, his sensitivity and connection to the supernatural have been hinted at. He senses the Mind Flayer before anyone else. He communicates with it through his body. He reacts physically to events that others cannot perceive. Season 4 amplified this pattern. Will's visions, his drawings, and his emotional responses suggested a growing connection to the Upside Down. But the theory proposes something more. Will is gradually becoming a host. A vessel, not for Vecna, but for the Upside Down itself. Evidence comes from subtle moments throughout the series. When Will is drawn to the tunnels beneath Hawkins, he seems compelled, almost instinctively, as if the environment is calling to him. His body sometimes reacts involuntarily to danger, and even in safe places, he displays symptoms of connection, shivering, coldness, and sudden anxiety. His personality also reflects this. He often feels like an outsider, disconnected from the town, almost as if part of him belongs elsewhere. Could that, elsewhere, be the world he unknowingly shaped as a child? Could his very consciousness be the template for the Upside Down? This theory gains further weight when looking at the emotional triggers of the world. The Upside Down is unstable. It reacts to trauma, fear, and pain. Will, who carries deep emotional scars, seems naturally aligned with this energy. His connection might explain why the Mind Flayer targeted him in Season 2, why cracks follow him, and why he is the only one who has glimpsed certain truths. Season the 5th of May reveal that Will's transformation reaches a peak. He could act as a bridge between worlds. His body and mind might serve as the link that either allows the Upside Down to merge with Hawkins or provides the key to severing the connection permanently. If this theory is correct, then Will's story is no longer secondary. He is central to the survival of Hawkins. He is more than a victim. He is a keystone. Theory 4, Eleven's powers fracture and the memory manipulation theory. Eleven has always been the most powerful character in Stranger Things, but Season 4 revealed cracks in her abilities, both literal and metaphorical. The theory proposes that her powers are no longer stable and that they may be evolving in ways that connect directly to memory and perception. Throughout the series, Eleven has been able to open portals, control objects with her mind, and sense events across space and dimensions. But each use of her power comes at a cost. In Season 4, we see her struggling more than ever, physically weakened after extended use, and mentally strained by the demands of manipulating the Upside Down. This theory suggests that Eleven's abilities are fracturing because they are beginning to interact with memory itself. She can no longer just affect the physical or psychic world, she is beginning to influence and reshape memories, both hers and potentially others. This is why visions of the past, distorted recollections, and flashbacks are becoming increasingly central to the story. Evidence for this comes from several key moments. When Eleven attempts to reach the Upside Down or fight Vecna remotely, she experiences visions of her past, her childhood, and the people she loves. These are not random. They appear to guide her, warn her, or even manipulate her decisions. Her powers are starting to blur the line between what is real and what exists only in memory. If this continues in Season 5, the stakes are enormous. Eleven may unintentionally reshape events or perceptions, creating ripple effects across Hawkins. She may even have the ability to influence how the Upside Down interacts with the real world, not just by opening portals, but by rewriting its very structure based on memory and emotion. This theory also ties directly into the story of Will Byers. If 11's powers are fracturing and capable of memory manipulation, and Will's consciousness is linked to the Upside Down, the two may interact in ways that could determine the fate of Hawkins itself. 11 might not just be a warrior in the battle against Vecna, she could become the mechanism that stabilizes or destabilizes the worlds. Season 5 could reveal that 11's evolution is both a blessing and a danger. Her powers may be the key to victory, but they could also inadvertently accelerate the merging of the Upside Down and Hawkins if she loses control. The memory manipulation aspect adds a psychological layer to the series, making battles as much about perception, identity, and emotion as they are about physical confrontation. Theory 5: Hopper, the Gate, and the military cover-up. Hopper's story has always been intertwined with the mysteries of Hawkins' lab, but there is a larger implication hidden beneath the surface. This theory proposes that Hopper is not only a key figure in the fight against the Upside Down, but also a witness to a much larger conspiracy involving the military and the true nature of the gates between worlds. From the very first season, it was clear that Hawkins' lab was hiding dangerous experiments. But the Season 3 and 4 arcs hint at something deeper. The lab's work, the creation of portals, and the experimentation on children like 11 and Henry Creel were not isolated incidents. They were part of a classified military program aimed at exploring psychic abilities as weapons. Evidence of this cover-up can be found in subtle details throughout the series. Documents found by Joyce and Murray, the strange behavior of Russian scientists, and the constant surveillance in Hawkins suggest that the gates and the Upside Down have long been monitored. The military is aware that the Upside Down is not just a threat but a tool, potentially capable of being weaponized. Hopper's connection to this comes through his time in Russia. While many assume he was simply imprisoned, he may have gained critical insight into the experiments, the nature of the Upside Down, and the psychic phenomena connected to Vecna. He has likely seen firsthand how the Russian program is attempting to manipulate the gates for strategic purposes, giving him knowledge that could be crucial in Season 5. The theory also ties to the gate in Hawkins. The gate is not a random portal, it is an engineered construct, designed to amplify psychic energy and to allow controlled entry into the Upside Down. Hopper, 11, and the others have always been fighting against forces that treat the Upside Down as a tool, not a threat. Every time the gate opens or closes, it is part of a larger plan, one that could have consequences far beyond Hawkins. In Season 5, this theory suggests that Hopper will not only fight Vecna but also confront the larger system behind the gates. He may need to expose the military's experiments, prevent the Upside Down from being used as a weapon, and protect Hawkins from becoming the epicenter of a controlled psychic collapse. The combination of Hopper's knowledge, his personal experience in Russia, and his understanding of the gate makes him a central figure in resolving the mysteries. He is not only a hero in the traditional sense but also a key player in the larger conspiracy, standing between the real world and the engineered chaos of the Upside Down. Theory 6: The Hawkins Loop and Time Reset Theory. Throughout Stranger Things, there have been subtle hints that time in Hawkins is not as linear as it appears. This theory proposes that Hawkins itself is caught in a loop, a repeating cycle connected to the Upside Down, with each season showing echoes of events that have happened before. The clues are everywhere. The clocks, always ticking but often shown in odd or significant ways, hint at cycles and repetition. Certain events mirror each other across seasons, almost like déjà vu. Characters experience recurring visions or feelings of having lived moments before. Even the spread of the Upside Down's corruption follows patterns, suggesting a repeating or predictable structure. The theory suggests that Hawkins has collapsed and reset multiple times. Each time the loop resets, only certain elements remain: people with strong psychic connections, emotional anchors like Will Byers, and the key players in the story. These anchors allow the town to partially remember or sense what has happened, giving rise to the feelings of familiarity and inevitability that characters experience. Season 5 of May revealed that these loops are tied to the very fabric of the Upside Down. The Upside Down may not only mirror Hawkins physically but also temporally. It may act as a record, a memory of the town frozen in moments of trauma and loss. Every time a breach occurs, the loop strengthens, forcing Hawkins closer to a collapse or merge with its mirrored version. This theory also explains why certain events in previous seasons feel inevitable. The cycles are not random. They are preordained by the patterns of psychic energy and memory that the Upside Down captures and feeds back. Will, 11, and Vecna are all connected to this loop, each playing a role in either stabilizing it or accelerating its convergence. If this theory holds true, Season 5 will not just be a final battle against Vecna or the Mind Flayer. It may reveal that the real challenge is breaking the cycle itself, stopping the temporal and psychic loops that threaten to reset Hawkins permanently. Failure could mean the town and its inhabitants are trapped in an endless repetition, where events unfold again and again with minor variations, until the Upside Down consumes reality completely. The Hawkins loop theory adds a psychological and temporal layer to the story. It makes every choice, every action, and every emotional response crucial. Characters may be fighting not only for survival but for freedom from time itself, with the fate of Hawkins resting on their ability to break the cycle before it becomes permanent. Theory 7: The Mind Flayer and Vecna Fusion Theory. One of the most chilling possibilities for Season 5 is that the Mind Flayer and Vecna are not separate threats, but are moving toward a fusion. This theory suggests that the two forces could combine into a single, more powerful entity, which would make the danger to Hawkins unlike anything seen before. The idea comes from patterns observed in previous seasons. The Mind Flayer has always acted strategically, manipulating both the Upside Down and humans to achieve its goals. Vecna, on the other hand, is highly intelligent, calculating, and focused on reshaping reality. Both share a connection to the psychic energy that sustains the Upside Down. If their energies were to merge, the result could be a sentient, unstoppable force with both intelligence and raw destructive power. Clues for this fusion appear subtly in Season 4. The spreading vines, the control over humans, and the way the Upside Down reacts to Vecna's presence all suggest a merging of influence. The Mind Flayer does not act independently in the later seasons, it responds to Vecna's emotional and psychic state, indicating a symbiosis rather than a rivalry. If the fusion occurs in Season 5, it would have several implications. Hawkins would face a threat that is both strategic and overwhelming. The world of the Upside Down could begin to physically reshape the real world, as the combined entity projects its consciousness outward. Portals, psychic storms, and environmental anomalies would likely increase in frequency and intensity. This theory also ties back to Will Byers. If he is the emotional anchor of the Upside Down, the fusion of Vecna and the Mind Flayer could target him directly. His connection could become the key to either controlling or stopping the merged entity. Eleven's fractured powers and ability to manipulate memory might also play a central role in countering this new threat. Ultimately, the Mind Flayer and Vecna fusion theory raises the stakes for Season 5. It turns the battle from a fight against individual monsters into a struggle against a single, conscious force that embodies all the danger, intelligence, and psychic power of the Upside Down. The outcome could determine not just the fate of Hawkins, but the nature of reality itself. Theory 8: Secret Connections and Hidden Puppet Masters. Stranger Things has always hinted that there is more happening behind the scenes than viewers realize. This theory proposes that several secondary characters are secretly connected to the events of Hawkins and the Upside Down, acting as indirect puppet masters or enablers, even if unintentionally. From the beginning, characters like Dr. Owens, Murray, and certain Russian scientists have appeared to be minor players. However, their actions, decisions, and knowledge may have deeper consequences than originally thought. Dr. Owens, for example, while appearing sympathetic, has access to classified information about Hawkins' lab and the gates. His choices influence the timing and outcome of critical events. The Russian scientists are another layer. Their experiments and attempts to manipulate the gates are not random. They may be aware of patterns and cycles in Hawkins that even the main characters do not fully understand. They act as facilitators of the larger events, providing resources, information, or interference that accelerates or delays the convergence of worlds. Even seemingly minor characters, such as postal workers, security guards, or teachers, have been shown noticing oddities in Hawkins at key moments. While these observations appear trivial, they could indicate that the town itself is a network of small, unseen influencers, each playing a role in maintaining or destabilizing the balance between reality and the Upside Down. Season 5 may reveal that these hidden connections are intentional. The narrative could show that certain characters have unknowingly set the stage for critical events, such as the opening or closing of gates, the spread of corruption, or the timing of psychic events. Their seemingly small decisions could have had cascading effects, shaping the fate of Hawkins and the Upside Down long before the main cast realized it. This theory adds depth to the story by suggesting that Hawkins is not just a town under attack, but a stage where multiple actors, both major and minor, consciously or unconsciously, influence the outcome. It emphasizes the idea that events are not random, and that every character, every choice, may matter in ways the audience has yet to fully comprehend. Theory 9 Hidden Codes and Symbols in Stranger Things. Stranger Things is filled with subtle visual and auditory cues that most viewers do not notice on a single watch. This theory proposes that these hidden codes and symbols are more than just Easter eggs, they may foreshadow events in Season 5 and reveal patterns in the upside down. Throughout the series, clocks, lights, and posters are often placed deliberately. Numbers appear repeatedly, from the dates on calendars to the digital readouts in Hawkins' lab. Certain objects, such as letters, graffiti, or toys, appear multiple times across episodes, often in ways that seem random but follow a hidden logic. Auditory cues are another layer. Music, static, and specific sound effects frequently precede significant events, almost like warnings embedded in the show. Even the scores composed by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein can hint at upcoming danger or emotional shifts. The theory suggests that these codes are connected to the psychic energy of the upside down and the cycles of events in Hawkins. They may serve as markers for the main characters, the viewers, or even the entities within the upside down, guiding actions or signaling the approach of critical moments. Season 5 could expand on this by making the codes more integral to the plot. Characters like Eleven, Will, and Dustin may begin noticing patterns that help them predict the movements of Vecna, the spread of the Mind Flayer, or shifts in the upside down itself. Fans who pay attention could uncover these hidden patterns ahead of time, potentially revealing how the final season might unfold. This theory emphasizes the meticulous planning behind Stranger Things. Nothing is placed by accident, and every recurring symbol or code may carry meaning that contributes to the narrative. It suggests that to fully understand Season 5, viewers will need to pay close attention to the details that have been hiding in plain sight all along. Theory 10 Hawkins' lab experiments and their long-term consequences. Hawkins' lab has always been at the center of Stranger Things, but this theory proposes that the experiments conducted there have consequences far beyond what has been revealed. The events of Season 5 of May show that the lab's work created conditions that continued to shape both the upside down and the real world. From the very beginning, the lab experimented on children with psychic abilities. Eleven and Henry Creel are the most obvious examples, but there were likely others whose abilities were never fully revealed. The lab's goal was to weaponize these powers, and in doing so, they may have unintentionally created or amplified the upside down itself. Evidence of long-term consequences can be seen in several ways. The recurring portals and breaches suggest that the lab's experiments destabilized the boundaries between dimensions. The presence of creatures like the Mind Flayer and the psychic imprint of Vecna indicate that the lab's work had unforeseen side effects, allowing powerful entities to emerge and influence the real world. Season 5 could reveal even deeper layers. The experiments may have left psychic traces in Hawkins, creating hotspots of energy that affect children, teenagers, and even adults who are sensitive to the upside down. These residual effects could explain the visions, compulsions, and connections experienced by characters like Will, Eleven, and Max. They may also play a role in how the gates open and close, and how entities like Vecna manipulate reality. This theory suggests that the lab is not just a past element of the story. Its influence is ongoing, and the final season may show that the lab's experiments set the stage for the ultimate convergence of Hawkins and the upside down. The actions of scientists decades ago could have created the conditions for the climactic events, making Hawkins' lab a hidden architect of the chaos that the characters are now facing. Ultimately, this theory highlights the idea that the consequences of human experimentation can extend far beyond the immediate results. The lab's work may have created both the threats and the solutions, forcing the main characters to confront the consequences of the past as they fight for the future. Theory 11 Hawkins is a central character and cosmic anchor. Stranger Things has always portrayed Hawkins as more than just a backdrop. This theory proposes that Hawkins itself functions as a central character and a cosmic anchor between the real world and the upside down. Its location, history, and energy are all integral to the events of the series, particularly as Season 5 approaches. From the very first season, Hawkins is depicted as a small town with hidden complexities. Strange events seem to gravitate there, and unexplained phenomena repeatedly occur in its boundaries. The town is not random. Its geography, population, and even its buildings appear to have been selected or affected by forces connected to the upside down. The theory suggests that the town's energy interacts with psychic and supernatural events. The lab, the gates, and the children with abilities are all part of this equation. Hawkins acts as a stabilizer, or in some cases, a magnet, drawing in the psychic energy necessary for the upside down to manifest and for events to unfold. The town itself seems almost aware, responding to emotional and psychic disturbances by facilitating cracks, visions, or the spread of the Mind Flayer. Season the 5th of May emphasized this connection even further. The town's history, its unexplored locations, and even the collective memories of its residents may play a direct role in how the Upside Down interacts with the real world. Hawkins is not just a battlefield, it is a living, reactive entity that shapes the story as much as the characters do. This perspective reframes the stakes. Saving Hawkins is not only about defeating monsters or stopping Vecna. It is about protecting a central hub of reality, the very anchor that keeps the Upside Down and the real world from fully merging. Every event in the town, from the smallest interaction to the largest catastrophe, could influence the balance between worlds. Viewing Hawkins this way gives a deeper meaning to the narrative. The town is a character in itself, and its preservation or destruction is intrinsically tied to the fate of the main characters and the outcome of the story. Season the 5th of May reveal that to save Hawkins is to save reality itself, reinforcing the idea that the town is much more than a setting, it is a keystone in the entire Stranger Things universe. Theory 12. The true purpose of Season 5, rewriting reality. The final theory proposes that Season 5 is not just about defeating Vecna, closing gates, or stopping the Mind Flayer. It may be about rewriting reality itself. Everything that has happened in Hawkins, the Upside Down, and the events connected to the children's powers could be building toward a single, ultimate revelation, that the boundaries between worlds, memories, and time are malleable, and that the characters may have to confront the very nature of existence to save their world. Clues have been hidden throughout the series. The loops and repeated patterns suggest that Hawkins may be stuck in cycles. The Upside Down mirrors Hawkins not only physically but emotionally and temporally. Characters with strong psychic abilities, like Eleven and Will, can influence not just the world around them but the flow of memory, perception, and possibly even fate. Vecna's own abilities indicate that consciousness can reshape reality. The convergence of these factors points toward a climactic event that goes beyond a simple battle. Season 5 could reveal that the ultimate conflict is not between hero and villain, but between control and creation. Vecna may be attempting to override reality according to his own design. 11, Will, and the other heroes may need to find a way to assert the natural order, using their powers to repair or stabilize what has been fractured. This could involve correcting past mistakes, restoring memories, and preventing the Upside Down from fully consuming the real world. If true, this theory would explain the significance of minor details previously overlooked. Every code, symbol, vision, and repeated event may have been laying the groundwork for a final confrontation with reality itself. The stakes are no longer limited to Hawkins. They extend to the fabric of existence, time, and memory. The choices made in Season 5 could determine whether the world continues as it is, collapses entirely, or transforms into something unrecognizable. This theory also reinforces the importance of the main characters. Will's connection to the Upside Down, Eleven's fractured powers, and Hopper's understanding of the gates are all crucial. Every skill, every insight, and every emotional bond becomes a tool in the ultimate battle. Season the 5th of May challenge viewers to consider not just who survives, but how reality itself can be defended, reshaped, or restored. Ultimately, the true purpose of Season the 5th of May not be to defeat a monster. It may be to decide what reality is and who has the power to write its final story. The stakes have never been higher, and the consequences have never been more profound. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. It means a lot that you stayed to dive deep into these Stranger Things theories with us. Videos like this take a lot of time and research, and your support is the only reason we can keep making them. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to Operation Hawkins, because it is fans like you who make this channel possible. And remember, for those who notice, Operation Hawkins.